This is the Mind the Gap meditation for managing your emotions. On anger, Seneca talks about 3 movements in terms of our unhelpful emotional responses. Although he was discussing anger, it could be applied to envy, anxiety, shame, or low mood. The first movement is the animal-like initial response, like when you jump when someone comes up behind you. It's instinctive and therefore not something we can or should try to control. The second movement is where the belief or judgment comes in. Something actually and absolutely good or bad is going on here, we think to ourselves. So this means the person has given their assent to the first movement or initial animal impression. In the case of anger, for example, the judgment would be, something actually bad is present where I'm being harmed and it's appropriate for me to seek revenge for this. In the case of depression and anxiety, it might be something like, something bad is either present or may happen, where I'm either being harmed or likely to be so, and it's appropriate for me to avoid situations due to this. The third movement is where we've been taken over by the emotion. This means we're likely to not be acting with virtue, because we are going to be acting without reason, so we lack wisdom. This means we're not able to consider whether our actions are fair or kind, so we lack justice. We are unlikely to be acting with any self-control and may experience that we've lost it completely, so we lack temperance. And finally, we may act to avoid things which we should have faced up to, so we lack courage. Imagine you are on a busy tube train platform. You feel the rush of air and the sound of a train screeching down the tracks towards the station. The platform is crowded and everyone around you surges forward to board the train. The announcer calls out, "Mind the gap between the train and the platform." The train arrives as the first movement of an emotion. It is present in front of you. However, the gap between you and the train is your assent. You get to choose whether to get on the train or not. Does it matter whether loads of other people are boarding the train? They might be going somewhere you don't want to be. In fact, the destination of this train might be in the exact opposite direction to where you're trying to travel to. Can you wait until the train pulls away? You might wonder why we would ever have boarded the wrong train like this. But we may have grown up in a family, within a society, where everyone boards every single train that arrives, regardless of where it's headed. As a result, they often end up somewhere they don't intend to be. The revelation that the train can arrive and you can choose not to get on is in itself revolutionary. To start with, the urge to board the train may prove so irresistible from habit that you may be pulling out of the station before you realise what's happened. Or you might wake up at the end of the line, wondering why on earth you're so far from home. With practice, we can learn to stay on the platform and allow the train to leave without us. The only part we are not in control of is the first movement. This is the emotional tube train arriving, but we don't have to get on it.